It's such a delight to greet you all from Bangalore in India on behalf of the South Asia Barometer. It's such a pleasure and honor to hear that the Asian Barometer survey is this year completing 20 years, and we are celebrating 2 decades of the Asian Barometer survey. We in South Asia are extremely privileged and proud to be part of the Asian Barometer survey. As you all know, the Asian Barometer survey is part of the Global Barometer survey. The Global Barometer survey consists of 5 important regional surveys: the Latino Barometer, the Afro Barometer, the Arab Barometer, the Eurasia Barometer, and finally the Asia Barometer. And we from South Asia are extremely honored to be a part of the Asian Barometer survey. In South Asia, we have covered 5 critical countries of the region as part of our study. And these 5 countries include Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Friends, you would have noticed I mentioned the 5 countries in alphabetical order so that there is no debate on which is more important or which is less important. I put them in the alphabetical order because for us in the South Asia Barometer, each of these 5 countries are critical and each of these 5 countries are important. We are very happy to report that from South Asia, we have done 3 rounds of the Asian Barometer survey. We did the first round in 2004 to 2006. We did the second round in 2013. And we are now in the process of doing the third round. It was completed in India in 2019. It is now going on in Nepal. It's now going on in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh in 2019 and 20. And we are hoping that it will also begin in Nepal and Pakistan in the coming year. Now, our earlier 2 rounds have been fully integrated into the Asian Barometer survey and the Global Barometer survey. And we in South Asia are extremely proud that in our first 2 rounds, we have brought out a very, very comprehensive report of South Asia, which we call the State of Democracy in South Asia. These have been published as 2 very leading reports and have been quoted quite extensively by scholars who work on the South Asian region. Friends, the South Asia Barometer is also mindful of the fact that our survey operates at multiple levels. The South Asia Barometer survey includes all the questions which are required as part of the Global Barometer survey. Therefore, the data from South Asia has been integrated into the Global Barometer survey data set, and therefore comparisons with global trends and South Asian trends is something that is possible. Secondly, the South Asia data is integrated into the Asian Barometer data. Therefore, all questions, the core questions of the Asian Barometer survey data are included in the South Asia study. As a result, comparisons between countries of Asia and South Asia is also possible. At a third level, our survey in South Asia includes an independent set of questions which we believe are extremely relevant for South Asia, which allows us to do a comparison across the 5 South Asian countries also. And finally, Given the tremendous diversity that each of the 5 countries in South Asia has, the survey also allows us to make comparisons between regions in South Asia and in each country of South Asia. So that, I think, is the value of the data set which comes from South Asia. And given the fact that South Asia constitutes 20% of the world's population, given that 1 out of every 5 people in the world live in South Asia, I think our South Asia survey becomes very useful in terms of data, in terms of interpretation, in terms of understanding what is happening in a very, very critical part of the world. I mentioned a while ago, friends, that the South Asia studies in 2004, 6, and 2013 have been published as very, very detailed and comprehensive reports. Let me share with you on this occasion what I see as the 3 most important dimensions of the findings from South Asia, which make our study in South Asia extremely unique and special. Before I come to those 3 dimensions, let me also underscore the fact that we in South Asia have taken tremendous care to ensure that the sampling process in South Asia is very, very rigorous, so that our sample in South Asia is truly an authentic mirror of the larger population that it is representing. So we are extremely proud of the fact that the South Asia sample is an extremely representative sample and comes on critical parameters as very close to the census data of these countries. Now, what are the 3 critical points which I would like to emphasize, which the South Asia Barometer has actually taught us in important ways? Firstly, I think our biggest contribution has been the fact that we have been able to contribute to the debate on democratizing the meaning of democracy. I think this is a critical contribution from South Asia. One of the questions we have consistently asked in South Asia is, according to you, what is democracy? We have taken it down in the languages that people have used. We have done our surveys in South Asia in more than 15 to 16 languages. And what people say in the language of their choice, the language of their homes, what they have said is literally written down and then translated into a common language. And based on what people said as to what do they understand from the word democracy, we believe that we have come up with a South Asian perspective on democracy, a citizen's perspective on what is democracy in South Asia. And our study consistently finds that common people in South Asia privilege 2 important dimensions of democracy: the welfare dimension of democracy and the justice dimension of democracy are upheld very strongly by the people in South Asia. And we believe this has to a certain extent contributed to enriching the understanding of democracy. The second point which flows from the South Asia data is we have this very interesting gap or dilemma or dichotomy, if you may, between the idea of democracy and the imagination of democracy. What do I mean by this? The idea of democracy is very strongly rooted in South Asia. You ask people whether they want their countries to be democracies, a very, 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 very high percentage of people would say, yes, we want our country to be a democracy. So the idea of democracy is deeply entrenched. But similarly, is the imagination of democracy equally entrenched among all stakeholders? And here we find the imagination of democracy does not seem to be as deeply entrenched as the idea of democracy. But by which I mean, the imagination of democracy sees a gap between the rhetoric and the reality. It sees a gap between the aspiration and the achievement. It sees a gap between the expectation on the one hand and the experience on the other. The third and last point, which I would like to make about the South Asian Barometer data, is the fact that in South Asia, common people are extremely positive about the future of democracy. Uh, they believe in the capacity of democracy to take them forward. The hope of a more positive democratic dividend is very, very strongly articulated by the people. Let's remember, friends, South Asia represents an old society with a very young population. And this young population has its aspirations. And the desire for an inclusive democracy in the light of diversity in South Asia is one of the futures of democracy that we can talk about. So, friends, on the 20th anniversary of the Asian Barometer Survey, here is the South Asia Barometer pledging its support, pledging its collaboration, pledging its cooperation to the larger democracy project, so that all of us can better understand how the people in our countries understand democracy, recognize democracy, aspire for democracy, and view democracy in their own little words. Thank you so much.